it. So we're gonna go like here with it. Okay. Let's do bam, bam. Let's do light. So let's do that. Let's go into let's do a live fragrance Q&A lounge. Device camera. I don't really know. Bam. I think that's correct. Oh, that's high. It's just gonna have to work. And then let me grab some stuff. Put icon back. Cool, cool, cool. I need to, what up, Daniel? I need to turn this a bit. There we go. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be something. We're live on both. We'll see how it goes. What up? What up, Zoe? We're simulcasting right now, so I'm looking at two different screens. What up? What up? What up? YT and TikTok. What up? We're not gonna be mic'd up tonight because I'm on two different phones. What up? What up? What up, Lot? What up, Just? What up, us? Hey, we're simulcasting tonight, guys. So any Q&A on fragrances, it's welcome. What up, Madeline? What up, Amy? Hey, Nuber. This is really a test run. We haven't done this before, so we're gonna do this for probably like maybe 30-40 minutes. I'm gonna grab a drink because this might be a little bit of a night. 1 second. Let me turn these on real quick. White. There we go. All right, guys. 1 second. Let me grab some drinks. Get your Q&A ready, guys. What the heck? Okay, let's check chat. What up, Blake? What up, Aaron? Yeah. Oh, I did not mean to invite. I need to get like a multi-tripod. Sorry guys, I had to go let Discord know that we're live. And I might have to rerun this with 2 different tripods because I can already see some issues going on. What up, world? How you been, man? We can't mic up today. Unfortunately, we can't mic up today because this is a test run. But soon it's going to be running simulcast on 3 different platforms, so I'm just ironing out some kinks tonight. How you been, world? What up, Robin? Yo, world. You know what's so funny, man? I love how you say blends. I love how you say blends, man. It'd be killing me. I love it. Hey, you still owe me a sample pack anyway, man. Yeah, but they're all fragrances too. Doing well, Wall. Good to see you. Yeah, we're ironing out some kinks, and I can already see a couple. I'm just troubleshooting them tonight to make sure everything's good. What's your take on the new Guerlain Shalimar Millesime Rose? Haven't smelled it. Haven't smelled it to be honest. And I'm more of a traditional guy with Guerlain. I like Vetiver, Hobby Rouge, um, the Allegoria line, most of it. Um, Heritage, Loam, the basics. I don't do Shalimar. I'm a dude. I know some dudes that wear Shalimar, but like I can count it on my hand, and I know thousands of people in fragrance. Appreciate the question too. What up, Dan? What up, Kari? He said they're all blends. I love it. How old are you, and are you a male or female? Wall. Before I answer that one, he said, "Is vanilla planifolia worth buying?" I need to know your age, where you live, and if you're a man or a woman. Because I'm just gonna give you a political answer with that, because everybody's got their own nose. Joel, what up? Hey, Joel, I'm gonna need you to come over to TikTok and mod for me. Laverne King Tobacco, beautiful. Yo, I've been wanting to jump into Montebac Intensivo as well. I got it laying around, bro. Seriously, this is the next lineup of discovery sets that we have to go through, and that's not even counting the full brand discovery sets we have in the closet. So, like, needless to say, we probably have like 700 days worth of samples that we gotta rake through, but we'll get through it like we normally do. Hey, Joel, what'd you think on the vacation videos? By the way, people who are new on TikTok, this is a open mic Q&A. So if you have any questions about fragrance, male, female, cheaps, dupes, affordable, niche, high-end artisanal, whatever you need, just ask me a question. I can probably answer it for you. Male 32, located in Pakistan, so it's pretty hot where you're at. I think you'll like the fragrance, but I don't think you'll have a lot of use case for it. It'll probably stay on your shelf pretty full. Get a travel size. You'll be straight with a travel size. That'll last you plenty long. If y'all see me looking back and forth, it's because we're simulcasting right now. I'm troubleshooting because we're real soon we're gonna have 3 cameras running, and I need to see the setup and how it coordinates and if there's any interruptions. So most of the YT audience is on here. TikTok's just figuring things out. Interesting listening to a reviewer thought instead of a top 10 list. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, like I think people forget sometimes that the reason I'm doing the video isn't because I'm trying to like prove something to be right or wrong. I'm just it's more like here's a perspective, what do you think type of situation. So, you know me, I'm always trying to take it beyond the fragrances themselves cuz like without the stories and the situations, like the fragrances mean nothing to me. Like fragrance is only as good as who you can share it with. It's a very personal thing, but it people forget that they even share that part of themselves because they have people that are like them. So, you know, I don't think put it this way. I think if you didn't have any friends in the fragrance community, people's collections would be a lot smaller. Just my 2 cents. What up, Alexia? What up, EA? Yeah. Fragrance Q&A for people who are on TikTok. You have any questions about fragrances at any level, recommendations? What does this smell like? Anything like that? My YT audience is much bigger, so I'm answering questions over there, but I'm also bouncing between the chats. So if you have any questions on them, just let me know. Hopefully that was helpful for you, Waleed. Hey, are y'all ready for the giveaway? The giveaway is going to be tough this year, man. What up, Prince? What up, Chrome? What up, Evelyn? What up, David? How you been, man? What up, Gabby? Mm. What up, King? Hey, we might have, yo, this might be the shortest Q&A we've had in a long time, and I'm actually excited about that because I'm tired tonight. I'm doing good, David. I'm doing good, man. I plan on going live this weekend, so I'm just flushing out some troubleshooting between all the cameras because this weekend we're gonna have 3 cameras going on 3 different platforms. So I'm just kind of ironing out my kinks and answering questions if anyone has any right now. So that way this weekend's a smooth stream. What other high-end artisanal blends have you tried recently? In your definition, none. In fact, for me, like I feel like we'd have to define our terms because I think you and me see artisanal a little bit different too. I mainly stay in a pretty strict program of at least lately with pure niche. So some of it may or may not be artisanal because I don't do the research prior unless I like am personally handed something by a brand. But lately everything's just been sent to me. So unless I look up a company story, I don't know their size or their independence or what their mission statement is with how they put their perfumery together, concentration, ingredients, all that stuff. So I really couldn't tell you, but I have smelled a lot of stuff I haven't heard of. I'll tell you that much. So by the time I go in and review it, I'll probably know. What up, Garland? Yeah, I mean, but what's small batch? How limited are you trying to go? Because if you're saying like under 300 bottles, then probably nothing. If you're saying like limited quantity, like couple thousand, it's probably plenty out there at that level. In fact, shout out to Karoma on here. I just met him yesterday. Uh, a fragrance curator, Karoma Scents or Karoma's Aromas. He's definitely an artisanal brand, but he's a curator. What up, Mike? What up, Noah? What up, Algernon? What up? Yeah, I'm ready to knock out too, Garland. We're just flushing out some issues because we're gonna try cast this weekend. That'll be a first, so I'll be having like 3 cameras set up, so that way all the chats can like interact together. It'll be pretty dope. By the way, if you guys are new on TikTok, if you have any questions about fragrance at any level, any price point, any recommendations, let me know. I do have a massive collection, but I'm not going to show it to you because I don't like to do that. So, but if you do have any questions, let me know. Um, Alexandria Fragrances Wild Verde, an inspo of Creed Wild Vetiver. Is it any good? I just smelled. I was in a shopping center when I was on vacation, and I put my nose again on Creed Wild Vetiver, and I don't even know if it was good, to be honest. Like I hear a lot of people that aren't blown away by it. They're like, yeah, it's really good. It's good. It's solid. I didn't feel anything about it when I smelled it. Like it didn't smell bad, but I didn't have any kind of like emotional attachment to it at all. It was just kind of like smelled like ginger ale to me. It wasn't. It didn't. So hopefully, like people take the DNA and ramp it up. What up, Robert? Okay. I mean, dude, what people don't understand is like Creed Wild Vetiver has been being made over and over and over and over and over and over. This sprite like vetiver with something else in it. It could be rose, it could be aromatics, it could be vanilla. Like everybody's been remixing kind of a ball to freak style for ages. So you have so many options with it. My thing is just like I have too many things in my collection that smell just like it. Not like it meaning like it smells like wild vetiver, but is doing that kind of fizzy soda water on Sprite like vetiver woods. I just have too many fragrances to count. So when I smelled it, I was just like, definitely not paying what it's worth. Um, what houses are you diving into other than Talib d'Orange? With Etot, we're almost actually done. I mean, the discovery set for that house is done on my end. I've actually been done with Etat Libre d'Orange for 2 weeks now. It's just they have 20 fragrances in the discovery set. So for you guys, you're like, oh man, when's he gonna be done with that? I've been done with it since I started it, but I can't drop all my reviews in one day on it. So um there's 2 or 3 Durange reviews left to drop, and I'll drop all of them Thursday and Friday. And then the next houses is finishing Game of Spades, finishing Mind Games, all of it, finishing all of Memo Paris, and then we'll be transitioning to Toscana and Electimus. Those will be the next ones in line. But like I'm telling you guys, like those are like full blown discovery sets. Like this like miscellaneous pile right here, guys, is like is ridiculous. It would be a good set to go through. Like a bunch of exclusive Toomies, a bunch of Parfums de Marley, a bunch of artisanal brands that have sent me stuff, um, a bunch of discontinued Chris Collins, a bunch of unseen Nishanes. We're gonna go through the entire house of Tiziana Terenzi. Um, I have tons of discovery sets I've yet to go through. Right now, my mission is to cover all of the major niche releases you would find and pivot into artisanal. We've also got the entire house of RDZ, which a lot of people have wanted to hear my opinion on. I mean, like I said, I have like probably 1,000 new, not just in here, I have boxes of them, thousands of new decants and sample discovery sets to review. So, but yeah, right after the Etat Libre d'Orange, we'll finish Game of Spades. We'll finish Mind Games, the entirety of the set. Finish Memo Paris, then Electimus, then Juice Box, and then forget the other set. There's gonna be a lot. You know, it's basically just whatever people have been asking for in my Discord server. What else we got? If you guys see me looking down and up, it's because I'm on two phones. I'm eyeing Profoman, Roma, Victrice lately, pricey. So I'm thinking about it. I always take my time when it's pricey, as you should. What about it, Jay? Does must therapy project and last long? Yeah, absolutely does. I mean, projection, let me clarify. The projection for me on must therapy is like 3 feet. It has a nice sillage, and the sillage can stay around, but it's a very light sillage. But as far as projection, I'm clocking like 3 feet. If you get within 3 feet of me, you're getting caught red-handed. The longevity for me on must therapy is like 8 hours plus. If it's beyond 8 hours, I just, unless I notice it the next day, I'll be like, yo, it's nuclear, but it's easily 8 hours plus for me. And it's one of the most layerable fragrances out there. So Must Therapy is it's special juice to me. Did you try Secretions Magnifique? Always been curious if the reactions I see are made up. Yeah, I've tried it. I didn't release the review on my channel because it's like the entire house didn't impress me at all. Even the Fat Electrician and You or Someone Like You, all the popular ones from Etat Libre d'Orange. But yeah, I mean it sucks. It's not a good fragrance. Oh, Liquid Brun, is it good? Yeah, but these days, you can get Liquid Brun for 30 at Burlington, and you can also get limited edition now. So limited edition Liquid Brun is stronger and more projective and more longevity, but the same scent profile. It's just richer. So these days, even though getting Liquid Brun would be good, um, collector's edition is just better in every way. It lasts longer, projects more, and it's richer, which means it's closer to Altair. The biggest problem with Liquid Brun, if you called it a problem, was that it is not Altair. It's trying to be Altair, but it's truly a an Altair remix. So if you're okay with that, it's a great fragrance. It's about as close to Altair as Assad is to Sauvage Elixir, like 80% at best. So it's a remix Altair, but if you got the OG, it's still a good fragrance. But the limited edition, which you can also get at Burlington for maybe like $5 more, is the same. It's worthy of going up to the limited edition. But nobody complains about OG Liquid Brun. Tobacco, cinnamon, spices, vanilla, just that Naxos style in a cheaper form. Everybody loves it. How about 9 p.m. Rebel? I don't own it. I don't like it, but it's a very good fragrance, and no one really complains about Rebel. Today, most people are talking about Night Out. So if you want to know like recommendations, 9 p.m. OG is great if you even care about Ultramall. But if you're a young guy under like 25, Night Out is doing numbers right now. Everybody's wearing 9 p.m. Night Out. The age range is crazy. Everybody from kids to grown men are wearing 9 p.m. Night Out right now. A lot more than Rebel. So Rebel is still good. I mean, the thing about it is the 9 p.m. series from Off Non is so good. They put all their best perfumers on that particular fragrance line. So every 9 p.m. is going to be great. But Night Out is definitely going to be the most popular and rightfully so. I love RDZ El Coqui Big Time Lime fragrance. Yeah, I have like 5 RDZ fragrance that were sent to me. So we'll cover RDZ, and based off those 5, I'll decide if I actually want to get the full on discovery set. Do you know how to find the discontinued Slate Arctic? You can't. There's only 2 ways you can get the discontinued Banana Republic Slate Arctic. Um, Number one, if you are in a TJ Maxx, TJ Maxx's in smaller towns tend to have them pop up quite regularly still. Every 3 to 6 months you'll see a Arctic Slate pop in, or Mercari. Mercari is probably going to upcharge you because it's discontinued, but if you get it at TJ Maxx, it'll always be $29.99. And it's a great fragrance. It's basically just Invictus Aqua, but it's still really good. Like, and you'll have a fragrance nobody else has. I think I gave my Arctic Slate to my brother, not because it wasn't good, but because I have too many fragrances and I knew he would wear it a lot because Invictus Aqua is very versatile. But yeah, Arctic Slate's amazing. Do you know how to find the? Oh, we already read that. What up, Wise? What up, Brandy? Yeah, any other questions you guys have over on TikTok, just let me know. I'm over on YT answering questions too. Does must like how many sprays for hot heat? Don't wear Must Therapy in the heat. Must Therapy is a fall winter scent. It's a vanilla musk floral. So thinking about wearing heavy sweetness in the heat doesn't make any sense. You can lighten up the sprays to make the fragrance lighter, but it still doesn't really match the season. That fragrance was never made to be worn in the heat. You can do whatever you want, but if you're asking me how many sprays in the heat, I would say none. So anything close to 0 is going to work for you. If you're like, I have to wear Must Therapy in the heat or in the spring, summer, 1, 2 sprays under your shirt, put a fresh fragrance over it though. It'll layer really nicely. Dang, my shoulder is acting crazy. What up, Kenny? What up, Brandy? What up, Vita? Again, we're doing Q&A tonight. I'm just ironing out a couple of issues because we're going to do a TriCast this weekend. So I'm filming on 3 different phones. So if you guys have any questions, from cheapies to artisanal, everything in between, price points, recommendations, what does this smell like? Ask away in the chat. I think you'll be surprised how much I can share with you about a fragrance. Favorite aromatic vetiver fragrance? Aromatic vetivers, um, probably Roja vetiver, Lunar vetiver from Amarud, Balda Freak Absolute. Yeah, I mean, I have a ton of vetivers, but as far as aromatics is concerned, I would say those. Guerlain Homme is another great vetiver scent. Terre de Hermes is another aromatic vetiver. They're all great. And vetiver sensual, I don't think is aromatic. It just smells like grass and citrus to me. It's very warm on my skin, so aromatics for me tend to be sharp, airy, um, and lift stuff. And I feel like that vetiver sensual wears very close to my skin. It's got a crazy long sillage and a good radiant projection, but the top and mid of that fragrance feels very much warm and juicy, not aromatic, and I don't want to say bright. Uh, Aromatics for me are like airy, sharp, elemental, herbal, and plant-like elevations to a fragrance. But the only plant association with it is a woody, earthy, grounded vetiver, and a yeah, that fragrance just doesn't have a lot of lift to me. But yeah, I'd be curious to go back and see the notes on vetiver sensual, because I really only get like a amber, radiant citrus vetiver, and it's the least aromatic in my collection. Probably the most aromatic I have is Sultan vetiver, um, vetiver extraordinaire from Frederick Mall, um, and lunar vetiver from Amarud. Esteban, what up? What's poppin'? Yos, good to see you. Ray, good to see you. What about floral vetivers? Um, Probably the most floral vetiver you'll find is Balda Freak Absolute. There's not, I mean, vetiver is in the base of like 80% of perfumery, but if you're talking about a vetiver fragrance, when you say vetiver fragrance, technically that's most fragrances in the world. But I interpret that to mean a fragrance that vetiver is the star note of the fragrance, and you can clearly make the vetiver out. So, in that regard, floral vetivers, I can't think off the top of my head of a floral vetiver that is vetiver focused. A floral vetiver that I've seen puts florals as the foreground and vetiver as just a complex background, which is just about every floral fragrance ever made, because the vetiver grounds it and gives it an earthy, woody base. So, yeah, when it comes to floral vetivers, probably the closest thing I can even think of is a fragrance you don't have access to, which is Santa Maria Novella Quercia from one of the oldest houses out there. It runs like 300 bucks, but you got to be in Italy to get it or be willing to pay full retail, which I don't think you should. But this has an aromatic floral take on vetiver, but it's very unique because of it. Yeah, I mean, I take that back. Roja Parfums Midsummer's Dream has a good injection of vetiver and oak moss, and it kind of has this pretty fairy dust garden thing going on behind it. So that's probably the closest thing I can think of in my mind. Roja's A Midsummer's Dream. What up, Carlos? What up, Pay? Good to see y'all. We're just doing Q&A right now. Um, is Mikalev Gin and Tonic a signature scent for summer? Yes, it is. Longevity varies on skin with that fragrance, but it is a good blind buy because it's super versatile. It's excellent in spring, summer, and it's very signature. The longevity varies, but I would just say that with that fragrance, be prepared to spray 10 to 20 sprays on your skin to make it go. What's your favorite Dior Privé line fragrance? Probably probably Tabacalore. I'm very old school. Bro, I always thought you looked familiar and now I know. Oh, okay. I don't know who that is. I don't watch a lot of UFC. I watch more boxing, but I'll look him up sometime. Bro, I'm a bald, light-skinned black dude. I could pass for any ethnicity. People say I look like everybody, man. I've literally anybody that's light-skinned, bald with a beard, I look like. What do you think of YSL M7? M7's phenomenal. In fact, shout outs Fandy perfume on white or on actually they're everywhere, but mainly TikTok and the not what. Um I found M7 off of them. I've been looking for M7 for like 2 years and I got it. This fragrance is phenomenal. People sleep on this. Well, they sleep on it because it's rarely available. YSL M7, sexy, sexy. Before Baby Cat, before Tabacalore, before Ombre Sultan, before Javoy Psychedelic, before Naxos, before Angel Share, before any of that seductive, boozy, aromatic, amberish, patchouli-ish, sexy time brown juice was around, there was M7. And M7 still slaps crazy today. And I have been trying to find it for a long time. You could find M7, but not for the price I was trying to pay for it, and I finally found it. M7 is beautiful. What did you think of Bud Crawford versus Canelo? I love Bud Crawford. I don't do the power ranking thing because I really feel like I'm not interested by that kind of conversation. But I love Bud's fighting style, man. I love his pace. I love how he breaks the fight down. He's surgical. Respect it. Um, what up, N2? Appreciate the follows. I'm just figuring out TikTok. I'm brand new to TikTok. We're simulcasting right now. That's why I'm looking around. But if you have any questions on fragrance, I'm here for you. I'm about to pick up afternoon swim. It's the best orange on the market. Okay, if that's how you feel. If that's how you feel, man, drop that coin, man. You won't be upset. What up, Sanchez? What up? What up? Hey, appreciate the follow, Chase. What do you think? Oh, you already asked that question. Yeah, right now it's gonna be a little bit dry on TikTok because I'm new. Um, and it's late. You know, most of my followers on TikTok are like daybirds. So I'm drawing most of my questions from the audience on YT. But I'm happy to answer anything, and I am looking back and forth. So tonight was just like a test run. That's why I didn't make any announcements. Otherwise, the chat would have been flooded. What up, Marissa? Good to see you. What up, Leon? But if you have any questions, I'm here for a little bit, guys. We're just answering anything for people who are curious about anything. Um, have you got a chance to try Dior Paradise? Well, when did that come out? Remind me. I don't. All my phones are occupied. When did it come out? Because I want to say I have, but that might be a new release too. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've gone through the Dior private line. Like the last time I went through the Dior private line was when I went through the Chanel private line, which was literally like a year and a half ago. Yeah, yeah. Then I haven't smelled it. I thought that sounded fairly new. What up, Vicky? What up, Scent Crazy? We're just doing open floor Q&A. If anyone's got questions on recommendations, cheapies, designers, clones, dupes, inspireds, niche, artisanal, ask away. I'd be more than happy to answer it. What up, Kimmy? Yeah, I haven't smelled that Dior yet. Haven't smelled that Dior yet. Because the thing is like Dior and Chanel are the two brands that I have the least amount of rep relationship with. So I have to go into Neiman Marcus or Saks Fifth or Bloomingdale's to do it. And if I go there, I have to smell everything. So I have to be in the mood to smell 30 fragrances from a private line. Because I'm gonna want to go. I'm gonna want to go back through Chanel Privé line. I'm gonna want to go back through YSL and Dior, not Chanel. I already said that, but there's a couple brand go tos that I do. Even Tom Ford. I like to do them all at once. So I'll probably be back in boutique land probably in like the next 2 weeks. But I've got a couple of really big collaborations to announce and participate with. So I'm going to be occupied for the next 2 weeks. So you guys are mainly going to get reviews. You're going to get to see some of my vacation time last week, some of the stuff I got into. We're going to do it this week in fragrance because we've got some huge announcements. We got the 5K giveaway, which will be the biggest giveaway in FragCom. There's just a lot going on. What are some of your go-to favorites for Rose? I'm looking for a niche version of Toy Boy. I don't really see Toy Boy reproduced at a niche level, specifically like it's a very unique DNA style. I know people always just talk about the two major notes that accompany the rose, but it is quite unique. I don't really think a lot of people have replicated a niche Toy Boy. Um, what I can say is rose fragrances that I think are just easy go-tos to try to see what kind of rose you like. Just walking in my head through the various styles that you should try. First, Frederic Malle Portrait of a Lady, Initio Atomic Rose, Side Effect, um, Alexandria 2 from Serjoff, um, uh, Oud Silk Mood, Oud Satin Mood from MFK. Chanel has a couple of them that are a bit rosy in their unisex private line. Taif Aoud from Roja. Um, I don't dance with rose too much. There's some very specific roses that I like, but um, I know I'm missing like two. I want to say Orica from Boadicea. Bodicea the Victorious. Um, yeah, you might have to name some stuff. I'm not sure. You got a chance to try. Yeah, as far as the connection to Moschino Toy Boy, I don't really feel like there's a one-to-one niche upgrade to Toy Boy. There's stuff in the realm of it, but you kind of abandon the profile at some point. But those are some go-tos that you should try. The main thing with Rose is to separate singular Rose fragrances from rose oud fragrances. Because once you go rose oud, there's a spectrum of style of animalics. And so now we're talking things like Kajal, Lamar, and Ombre Nomad, and things like that, which are fundamentally different, in oud satin mood and oud silk mood, are fundamentally different from stuff like Atomic Rose and the Tom Ford line and the Chanel line, which lean toward a more light rose water type of scent with different facets. The rose ouds are very thick, dense, typically leathery, typically big bodied fall winter scents. So it's kind of like one leans fall winter and is stylistically very different. The other one leans towards more of an angelic, feminine leaning rose waterish style that is typically suited well for spring, summer. So you got to find which season you're going for and then evaluate the fragrances within that because they all have different styles. Rose is a note that you have to be extremely patient with. Radical Rose is a great scent, but I recommend it for women. I find that most men that mess with Radical Rose wind up having to layer it. Do you have Bulgari Pour Homme EDT, one of the best ever? Uh, I do have Bulgari Pour Homme. Sorry, guys, I know I'm a little bit behind in the chat. I'm running two phones. This was kind of impromptu to flesh some stuff out. Um, Bulgari Port Homme. I know I have it. Um, I have it. You just gotta believe me. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, and this is a vintage original from Bulgari. I know you guys might have trouble seeing that on both cameras, but I do have 15 ml of it. Probably only 10 left. I get what people are saying. It is a good fragrance, but I think people who have it are kind of exaggerating a bit. Oh, hey, Nuber. I'm sorry. I didn't even see that. Yes, I'm still up. We're up till midnight tonight. Hold on one sec, guys. What's up? Oh, maybe. It might be our neighbors, to be honest. Just let me know. Okay. Hey, Lynn, what's up? Yeah, it's only 11:50 here, but we're signing off at midnight. I'm test running the stream because we're gonna do a three-way cast this weekend. I need to make sure everything's working, and this is the only time I have to flush it out. So I'm answering some light Q&A right now, but mainly it's to see how all three phones perform, so that this weekend when I start integrating the graphics and have stuff flying all over the screen, it's smooth. I love, and by the way, we're on YT and TikTok at the same time, so I'm looking up and down. I love Roja Dove Apex DNA. Do you have any clones for it? No, but I do have a great alternative. So Apex and Apex O Intense from Roja, I have both of those. I think a better alternative that's slightly less candy synthetic. There's a kind of candy apple synthetic green note that's in Apex that I don't like. They did that to make the foresty outdoors smell more modern and more youthful, but in doing that, it doesn't have a natural approach. I think you can make a fragrance that smells like the outdoors, but play with the weight to make it not feel old manish. And that's this fragrance right here. This is Lalique Lin Sumi. It's normally not discontinued, but not available because they sent they send it out in waves. So every 3 to 6 months they'll print, like a couple thousand of them, and they sell out immediately. Like the moment Joma and Fragrance Net and all these people announce that this has come back on the market, you have about 3 to 4 days to buy one, or they sell out again. So this is highly popular, probably top two best male fragrances in the House of Lalique. And this is a green forest dewy outdoors scent. But what makes it super modern is it's very light and airy, but has crazy projection. So it's kind of a green dewy. It's almost like smelling a Christmas tree from like one house away, but it's cold, it's watery, it's slight piney, and it's got this green grass dewy thing going on. Very, very similar to Apex, just more natural, less synthetic. And for some reason, it just works. To me, this is top two best office scents for men. When it's available, you can get it for 40 to 50 bucks. And this is a masterpiece to me. I've created a memoir on this fragrance alone on my channel. So you can look it up. Beautiful bottle, crystal glass work. It's one of the only fragrances that does the old school green outdoors thing, but is literally so modern you would have thought it was made yesterday. Masculinity in a bottle. Um, Great office scent because the projection is really controlled. You get about 2, 3 feet of robust projection. Fragrance only goes for like 3, 4 hours, but that's why it's perfect for work. Like you put a zillion sprays on in the morning. It's like you just got out of the shower fresh. Spritz in the midday. The opening is majestic. It's one of those fragrances that smells so good. You deal with the longevity of it because it's just so good. Let me check the chats again. I would love to hear your perspective on Chanel Allure Edition Blanche or Eau d'Extrême. Edition Blanche is one of the greatest Chanel fragrances ever made for men, even though it can be unisex. It's hard to get. People charge the heck out of the wazoo for that fragrance, but this is that kind of lemon creamsicle, fresh, crisp, airy, versatile scent. Uh, or orange or lemon. I'm tired. It's late, but it's got a creamsicle, fresh Invictus style to it. That kind of metallic, fresh, versatile. But this one is more signature, because it's white with a citric creamsicle spin. Very hard to get at a fair price. Otherwise, you're always going to be paying retail. It's a masterpiece. It's one of Chanel's best, and it's not only versatile, but it's one of the most like recognizable signature scents out there. It is very popular, but you'll be surprised. The average fragrance person doesn't have a bottle of it. Most people buy Chanel Allure Homme Sport before they even, and then they hear about Edition Blanche years later. Because it's like if you go into Sephora or an Ulta Beauty, um, you're rarely going to see Edition Blanche even there because it's sold out. So I would say that fragrance is a masterpiece. I think women can wear it, but it might be a unisex fragrance, but I'm pretty sure it's for men, but it's amazing. Men and women just wear it. It's awesome. Highly signature. The Eau d'Extrême is a good fragrance as well, but I always prefer Edition Blanche over Chanel Allure Homme Sport, even though I would never diss Allure Homme Sport. It's one of the greatest fragrances Chanel ever made, excluding their private line. Lalique Linsumi does smell manly. I'm trying to scratch that green itch. Yeah, if you're looking for a green dewy scent that's super fresh, crisp, and cold and watery, get that, because I felt like that was what Apex did, but they kind of sprinkled some candy like greenness that's a little bit fake. They tried to make it sporty for like college kids, which they did. They did a successful job of it, but it's that smell that I feel like if a man tried to pull that off, it's like men wearing Greenlee. It's a good smell, but you're just better off going into Sedley, Castley, or Lafayette. That's just my opinion, or Bald a Freak. Um, yeah, no one does talk about it. They push Lalique Encre Noir, which sits. I'm gonna tell you something. This is the entirety of the Lalique line. It's one of my favorite houses. Um, the sad part about Lalique is this and Encre Noir Sport are the get the most media coverage in the world about the brand of Lalique. And these three with Encre Noir Sport, which I sold, are the worst fragrances in the entire line. They're great fragrances, but these are collector style fragrances, with the exception of A l'Extrême, which smells shockingly close to Chanel's private line Sycamore. Thanks for liking the live. Hey, for those of y'all who don't know, my mom's lingering in and out of here, so shout out to mom. Love you. Thank you for liking the live. I'm new on TikTok, so I appreciate that. But yeah, the and I love those three fragrances, but every other Lalique fragrance for men and women is better than those three. So it's like for people coming into that house, you smell those three and you're turned off immediately because most people are not collectors and have hundreds of fragrances, and you're intimidated to go any step further. But literally every fragrance, and I don't just have men's, like this is a rare crystal woman's dabber from Lalique. Um, so I can speak on this subject for both women's, men's, and unisex fragrances from Lalique. But literally every fragrance, in my opinion, is better than those three. And you should start completely different. So this year, I'll be happy to say that after I'm done doing some media coverage for a couple of different brands, um, I will be doing my Lalique Power Rank, where I'll be doing a mini documentary on the House of Lalique, their over 100-year history in glass, and then into perfume and into decor. And then I'll be dropping my top 20 best Lalique fragrances ever made. And I will dog walk you guys through why I feel that way. We'll do a men's version, a women's version, and then I'll sprinkle unisex somewhere in the midst. But it'll be very informative and helpful because if you enjoy fragrance, you can get almost every Lalique fragrance outside of their private line for between 20 to 50 bucks. That's incredible. So for a couple $100, you can have most of the line. And they walk a very nice line where you feel like you're getting a luxury niche experience for cheapy level prices. And it's because they specialize in most of their money comes from their glass and decor side of things that they've always, when they come into the US, have been discounted. Most of these fragrances retail for over 150 to $200, but in the States, because of lack of awareness, they always get knocked down to the $20 to $50 price point, which is amazing for us. Let's see if we can catch up on the chat. We're only going to be live for a couple more minutes, guys, because I got work in the morning. Again, this was just a test run tonight, but I really appreciate you guys for coming in. My YT audience is always amazing and big, and there's questions. I appreciate that. We're slowly transitioning over to TikTok. And so, well, not transitioning, but just expanding. So anytime we go live, we're going to be introducing both audiences together. Hopefully I don't get a check for that. Quick questions. Should I get Suspiro Vibrato or YSL for daily wear? Which YSL? I'll probably pick Vibrato, but it depends. Which YSL are you referring to? By the way, shout outs to everybody hanging out. Thank you so much, Lynn, for the love. Really appreciate you. Thank you for sharing too. Every Lalique fragrance I tried has mid performance. Is that just because of skin chemistry? No, that's the brand. That's the brand. A good rule of thumb, guys, is like if there was one thing to complain about with Lalique, it would be performance. But here's a safe way to walk through the house of Lalique if you really care about beast mode or fragrances that you spray in the morning and don't have to reapply in the afternoon. Pick their fall winter fragrances because those by nature will be the longest lasting in the brand. So for instance, if you want something that smells like Parfums de Marly Layton, but better in my opinion, try Lalique White and Black. This is Layton without the medicinal cherry chapstick mentholic thing people are talking about. It's fresher, so it's more Four Seasons, but it does have a bit of a fall winter lean. Smells exactly like Layton, but better. You can get this for 20, 25 bucks. And this has solid performance. I don't think anything in the House of Lalique is beast mode until you start getting into their very privé lines, and it's very rare that you'll get those for a price that you're willing to pay. But typically, if you really care about longevity, start with their fall winter type of scents, and then don't go to their spring summer scents because they are fragrances that you have to reapply. And I think you guys got to remember, like, even though Lalique makes fragrances that smell niche, you're still paying 20 to 50 bucks at the end of the day. So it's going to perform similar to a lot of your like clone work, unless it's a fall winter scent. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that one of the reasons why perfume gets more expensive is because the bigger brands actually pay scientists and chemists and perfumers to create synthetics and captives and fixatives that hold molecules for a lot longer. And so, a house like Lalique doesn't really mess with niche level fixatives and stuff like that. There's pluses and minuses to that equation though, because I think as you get deeper in your journey, you'll realize that there are losses that come with longevity. I'll go into this at a later date and make a video about it, but just because a fragrance is long doesn't mean the fragrance is full. And sometimes at the cost of the longevity, everything after that first 2 hours of projection, it dries down to a very simplistic idea. And that's what the scent is. Whereas you might only get 3-4 hours from something that's quieter, but you get a much more fuller, detailed scent profile that doesn't just dry down after 10 to 20 minutes of it being on your skin. So the trade-off there is with Lalique, a lot of times you'll get a quieter, um, hold on guys. Okay, sorry, I had to fix my thing to stay live. Um, So you might, with certain fragrances, get like 3-4 hours of projection and longevity, but that 3-4 hours is full and bright and detailed. So that's not always the case between eau de toilettes and eau de parfums and intensos and extraits, but a lot of times that's the thing. And I do want to say to TikTok folk as well as YT folk, just because I'm new on TikTok doesn't mean don't have my own mods. I have mods on deck, so if you get froggy and want to jump, one of them will sit you guys down. This is like we run a family style thing over here. All ages, all walks of life, all colors. We welcome you in here to learn about fragrance. And if you're trying to get your 5 seconds of fame, I'll give it to you. Well, my mods will. I know what you mean by green sweetness in Apex. It's the same in Sauvage Elixir, that kind of cotton candy DNA. Yeah, but it's also like a candied synthetic apple that they do. Greenleaf, for instance, is a great fragrance, but Lafayette's just better. Greenwich is just better. Ball de Freak is just better. When they go that route and they don't stay with that kind of fresh, earthy backbone, it comes off like a teenager fragrance, like an expensive, preppy fragrance. And so age plays into that. Like noticeable synthetics play out better for younger kids because their threshold or their understanding of what fancy is like requires less to be impressed. Can you recommend any tuberose fragrances suitable for men? The only one that stands out to me immediately would be 100 Silent Ways from Nishane. Start there and see if you like it. If you like that, then I can branch off and give you other recommendations. Tuberose and ylang ylang and things like that are very much culturally feminine notes. Doesn't mean you can't wear them. It just means they are such a robust smell profile. They do a lot to a fragrance. It's easy for a fragrance to be overrun by a lang lang, or overrun by iris, or overrun by tuberose. And a lot of times tuberose kind of has an association with either cotton candy or bubble gum. So when you have that plus florals, it can create a feminineness culturally really quickly. But 100 Silent Ways seems to be a fragrance that, though it's feminine leaning and though it has a lot of tuberose, it works really well on men and the compliment factor stays high. And there's also some things offsetting it, like tobacco and rum and things like that. So, yeah, start with 100 Silent Ways and come back to me and let me know how you feel. What up to everybody coming in on TikTok? I see you. Um, Also, look at Joel's recommendations as well. If you're over on YT, I have mods that will answer a lot of your questions for you guys. If you know, because I answer questions really thoughtfully on here, so sometimes I get behind. Okay, guys, we're about to wrap up soon. If you have any last minute questions, please put it in the chats. We'll wrap those up. I'll give you guys a couple of announcements on what to expect on both platforms this week, and then we'll sign off. Appreciate everybody who's been interacting in the chat. I always go live until the chat gets dry, so this is for you guys. I'm already tired and ready to go to bed. I'm gonna scroll through, make sure I didn't miss anything. Hey, what's up, Kale? I haven't seen you in a while, man. I just got rose kabuki. I love that jammy and dewy rose for summer. I always layer it with a nice fresh ginger. That's a good idea. Okay. Seems like I covered everything on YT. Let me just look through TikTok. On the question of should I get Suspiro Vibrato or YSL, I don't know which YSL you were asking about because you didn't name it. So unfortunately, I'm just going to default and go to Suspiro Vibrato. I've never seen anybody hate Suspiro Vibrato. Appreciate everybody in the live here that said what up. Yeah, it looks like I got everything. Give you guys about 30 more seconds and then we'll wrap up. You missed my question a lot of messages ago, but that's okay. Joel, repeat it, man. Ain't nobody talking right now. Ask the question. Did you try Offnon His Highness Green? I didn't. Is it good? My clone game has been going down. So now my new rule of thumb for clones is I wait a minimum of 3 months before I review a clone. And the reason why is because early on, I had the ability to pretty much get any clone I wanted in sample form. And even though I still have that resource today, clones will always be super popular and easy to get. And so I like to give my take after all the hype has died down, and clone hype is the most reckless hype in Fragcom right now. So I like to let the dust settle before I review new releases. That's just my thing. Unless I think there's like a really good exclusive. So for instance, last 2 weeks ago, they dropped a Bois Imperial clone. This is Arabia Prestige's Lutfa Ever After. Amazing rendition of Bois Imperial. One of the most wearable, masculine, slight unisex fragrances out there. Smells like a 5-star hotel. It's a soft, woody, luxurious fragrance. Clean, fresh, masculine. They nailed this. Like it's 90+%. It's a great fragrance. It lasts long. This was sent to me, Arabia Prestige said, this is the new thing. It's amazing. You got to try it. Tried it. Absolutely phenomenal. As well as this release right here. I just got a compliment on this last night at the grocery store. This is Arabia Prestige's Noir. And this is a rendition. It's supposed to be a rendition of the 2025 specific Dior Homme Parfum release. Um, lipsticky iris, the more aromatic take. For those of you who don't know, the difference between Dior Homme Parfum and Dior Homme Intense is Dior Homme Intense is more decisively date night, creamy lipstick iris, um, and it's geared toward date night. Whereas Dior Homme Parfum is more of kind of like your Prada Luna Rossa Ocean, your Prada Carbon EDP, your your Versace Eros Blue. It's a slight, sweet, super fresh, musky fragrance, aromatic lavender that can go all day. Day into date night. It's kind of like a double dip in its foot. So Dior Homme Parfum is all more of a breakfast, lunch, and dinner version of Dior Homme Intense. They smell very close, but I always say creamier, smoother, richer iris for Dior Homme Intense, more of an aromatic, ashy iris for Dior Homme Parfum. This is going after 2025 Dior Homme Parfum. Very accurate in the opening, but surprisingly, and this is the first time I've had a not a negative critique, but just a they didn't get it critique, is that the dry down on this actually is closer to this fragrance, and that's Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. So it opens Dior Homme Parfum, it dries down Prada Luna Rossa Ocean like 1 to 1. So this is still one of the most amazing, versatile breakfast, lunch, dinner fragrances for men. Women love this fragrance on a man, high compliment factor, very Four Seasons versatile, but they didn't nail getting this to be DHP 2025. They got it in the opening. The dry down is actually this fragrance right here. But for that reason, still a super high compliment factor. Um, it's fine in my book. I had a woman come up to me last night when I was at the grocery store. She was like, "Excuse me, I normally don't do this, but I walked by you twice. I have to know what you're wearing because my husband needs to wear that." So I wind up sharing this with her, and she was happy to know that it was basically a $40 fragrance. So sometimes I might have an exclusive, and that fragrance just came out a couple weeks ago as well. So sometimes there's some exclusive drops that a brand rep will say, "Hey, SB, you need to talk about this because this is going to do really well in the marketplace." And so I'll review it. But most of the time, I wait 3 to 6 months to let the dust settle, and then I give my take on fragrances. And I kind of have a similar approach with new designer releases as well. Do you have Nautica Voyage? Yes. I had the same 5 fragrances for about 15 years, and it wasn't until about 5 years ago that I got really into collecting and making my. I would pan the camera, but all the phones would fall. Several hundred fragrances. This is my second bottle in my lifetime of this. Most people absolutely love the affordability and the versatility of a sea salt aquatic blue fragrance that you can get just about anywhere. But the people that don't like Nautica Voyage don't like it because it has a kind of sea salt cucumber facet, so it's slightly vegetal. But it's almost like slightly cold seawater that brushed up on a shore and bumped into a head of lettuce. That's the best way I can describe it. It's cucumbery, but it's got that lettuce vegetal feel. So if you don't like that aspect of this fragrance, I highly recommend the brand new, I believe, 2025 release, which is Nautica Voyage Intense. It's a darker blue bottle, and they made this fragrance slightly richer and remove the cucumber note. So it's a non-vegetal. And thank you so much for the. Oh, that's my mom. Thank you for the bouquet. I don't know how much that is in digital and whatever, but I know it was probably cost some dough because it came with an animation. Appreciate that. Love you. All right, guys. I think we're good on the questions. Um, Again, thank you so much for participating. Coming up this month, I have a wow. And for those of y'all who are on YT, we're getting all these animations popping up. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Mom. Um, this month we have a couple of brand appearances that are going to be huge releases for this year. We have some documentary material coming out. I have a couple of announcements for events. I have the announcement of the product line that I will be dropping closer to Christmas, fourth quarter this year, which will include merch, new fragrance release as well as my ebook series. So just stay tuned for that. We're about to hit 2 million on YT. We just hit our 5,000 sub goal on YT. So thank you guys for that. It's really been life changing. And we're going to continue to keep reviewing tons of fragrances every day for you guys. Really appreciate the support. Appreciate you guys being active in the live. I'm also going to start sharing different spotlight videos on members of the community, different boutiques, and different events going on. So stay tuned on both platforms because there is some exclusive collaborative content that happens on TikTok that doesn't happen on YT. Most of the post content is circulated on both, but as far as collaborations and announcements, I choose which platform I want to announce it on to give you guys reasons to stay tuned to both. And lastly, if you ever want a deeper fragrance experience, I have a private Discord that has a very exclusive community of about 100 people where we talk about scent of the days, different price savings you can get on fragrances, testimonials. I give We do different meetups where I do open Q&A privately to that group, and there's just a lot of really cool people in there. If you're into fragrance, whether you're a beginner or an expert, we show a lot of love in there. So if you want more of a private community, check out the description of any of my videos, and you will see a free uh, invite to it. But with that being said, thank you guys so much. Mom, love you. Thank you for sending me all the good stuff. I'm going to go get some sleep. Love you guys and hope you have a wonderful night. Stay blessed. Peace and peace.